Today is September 4th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today out of the Big Book, we're going to continue our journey through Chapter 4, We Agnostics, by reading page 54. Out of the 12 and 12, we're going to continue Step 8 by reading page 80. And today we're going to read the Daily Reflection in 24 hours a day. So with that, hope you all are doing well this morning, my friends. We've been given another set of 24 hours, and it's always a good thing. There's an old Paul Westerberg song. It's just called The Good Day. But the chorus is, it's a good day any day that you're alive. Real quick side note, I lost one of our neighbors, a dear friend of our family, and happened yesterday, and you know, it really made me think about my last interaction with her, and thankfully it was a positive one. But I'm really gonna miss her. She was a wonderful person, wonderful human being, always so sweet, and loved our kids. And it just again reminds me that life is fragile, and again, it's just a good day simply because we're alive, and if we're sober, man, we're really alive. But with that, my friends, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. Out of the Big Book, we are on Chapter 4, We Agnostics, page 54. We found, too, that we had been worshippers. What a state of mental gooseflesh that had used to bring on. Have we not variously worshipped people, sentiment, things, money, and ourselves? And then, with a better motive, had we not worshipfully beheld the sunset, the sea, or a flower? Who of us have not loved something or somebody? How much did these feelings, these loves, these worships have to do with pure reason? Little or nothing, we saw at last. Were not these things the tissue out of which our lives were constructed? Did not these feelings, after all, determine the course of our existence? It was impossible to say that we had no capacity for faith, or love, or worship. In one form or another, we've been living by faith and little else. Imagine life without faith. Were nothing left but pure reason, it wouldn't be life. But we believed in life. Of course we did. We cannot prove life in the sense that you can prove a straight line is the shortest distance between 2 points, yet there it was. Could we still say the whole thing was nothing but a mass of electrons created out of nothing, meaning nothing, whirling on to a destiny of nothingness? Of course we couldn't. The electrons themselves seemed more intelligent than that. At least, so the chemist said. Hence, we saw that reason isn't everything. Neither is reason, as most of us use it, entirely dependable, though it emanate from our best minds. What about people who proved that man can never fly? Out of the 12 and 12, we're on Step 8. Made a list of all persons we'd harmed, and became willing to make amends to them all. Page 80. While the purpose of making restitution to others is paramount, it is equally necessary that we extricate from an examination of our personal relations every bit of information about ourselves and our fundamental difficulties that we can. Since defective relations with other human beings have nearly always been the immediate cause of our woes, including our alcoholism, no field of investigation could yield more satisfying and valuable rewards than this one. Calm, thoughtful reflection upon personal relations can deepen our insight. We can go far beyond those things which were superficially wrong with us, to see those flaws which were basic flaws which sometimes were responsible for whole patterns of our lives. Thoroughness, we found, will pay and pay handsomely. We might next ask ourselves what we mean when we say that we have harmed other people. What kinds of harm do people do one another anyway? To define the word harm as a practical way, we might call it the result of instincts in collision, which cause physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual damage to people. If our tempers were consistently bad, we arouse anger in others. If we lie or cheat, we deprive others not only of their worldly goods, but of their emotional security and peace of mind. We really issue them an invitation to become contemptuous and vengeful. If our sex conduct is selfish, we may excite jealousy, misery, and a strong desire to retaliate in kind. Daily Reflection, September 4th. Reconstruction. Yes, there is a long period of reconstruction ahead. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 83. The reconstruction of my life is the prime goal in my recovery, as I avoid taking that first drink one day at a time. The task is most successfully accomplished by working the steps of our fellowship. The spiritual life is not a theory. It works, but I have to live it. Step 2 started me on the journey to develop a spiritual life. Step 9 allows me to move into the final phase of the initial steps which taught me how to live this spiritual life. Without the guidance and strength of a higher power, it will be impossible to proceed through the various stages of reconstruction. I realize that God works for me and through me. Proof comes to me when I realize that God did for me what I could not do for myself, by removing that gnawing compulsion to drink. I must continue daily to seek God's guidance. He grants me a daily reprieve and will provide the power that I need for reconstruction. 24 hours a day, September 4th. AA Thought for the Day. We must be careful never to show intolerance or hatred of drinking as an institution. Experience shows that such an attitude is not helpful to anyone. We are not fanatics or intolerant of people who can drink normally. Prospects are relieved when they find that we're not witch burners. Tempered drinking is okay, but we alcoholics can't get away with it. And no alcoholic likes to be told about alcohol by anyone who hates it. We shall be of little use if our attitude is one of bitterness or hostility. Do I have tolerance for those who can drink normally? Meditation for the day. Do not be encumbered by petty annoyances. Never respond to emotional upsets by emotional upset. Try to keep calm in all circumstances. Try not to fight back. Call on the grace of God to calm you when you feel like retaliating. Look to God for the inner strength to drop those resentments that drag you down. If you're burdened by annoyances, you will lose your inward peace, and the Spirit of God will be shut out. Try to keep peaceful within. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may do the things that make for peace. I pray that I may have a mission of conciliation. All right, my friends, we're getting up on 10 minutes. I'll make this very quick, but I do like the daily reflection today. The reconstruction of my life is the prime goal in my recovery, as I avoid taking the first drink one day at a time. It's a daily practice for me. You know, this reconstruction of my life, and I love this line here, without guidance and strength of a higher power, it would be impossible to proceed through the various stages of reconstruction. You know, there were a lot of things that were not under my control. There were a lot of things that I could not have done without my higher power. But there's a lot of things that were in my control. When I finally made the choice to join a fellowship, when I finally made a choice to listen to what others told me to do, or what worked for them at least, when I started to turn right when I was always used to turning left. I think that's when the reconstruction started to really show up in my life. But the thing is, this is a daily reprieve. I have to work it every day because what worked yesterday, if I don't do the same thing today, I'm putting myself at risk. But the work is so worth it. Sobriety is so worth it. I don't know if I could keep going if it wasn't. I would sure try to do it for other people, but the benefits I've received from sobriety far exceed anything I could have ever imagined. To not have to be a slave to alcohol, to not have to obsess over it all day long, to not have to drink and then make these destructive choices while I'm drinking, and then drink to hide the shame from making those choices. And then, way more rewarding than even that, in sobriety, I'm living a life, or trying to live a life of integrity. I can look myself in the mirror and be okay with who I see. To be at peace with myself. To earn my wife's trust back. To be the father that I was meant to be. To help others. Oh man, I get goosebumps thinking about how great sobriety is. All the things that I gained that I never saw coming. It's worth the work. This reconstruction. And my friends, I hope the same thing for you as well. It really is a daily practice. And let's practice trying to be people of integrity today. To be honest. Rigorously honest with ourselves and with others. And to try to do good. To show up best for those we love the most. So with that, my friends, that's all I've got. I don't speak on behalf of AA or NA or Al-Anon or any other sect, denomination. I'm just a friend in this lifeboat of recovery. And if we are given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.